Hello, everybody. Hi, this is Shuvo here, CEO of Success Dante. Welcome back on our 28th episode of Real Talk with Shuvo. And today we have a generous guest with us, and he has been serving the community of entrepreneurs years to come. And then we are excited to have him in our panel today, and we are really looking forward to a real talk when it comes and give you a real value to all our entrepreneurs who are listening to this. So we will take a 3 minutes break, and then I will see you on the other side. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are live at the Real Talk with Shuvo. As I said, we are having an awesome guest today, and he has been serving the community for years. He's been serving the community. He's serving the community, and he will be serving the community the years to come. So I would like to invite our guest today, Professor Rohan de Silva. Rohan, can we see you? Hi, Rohan. How are you?
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Long time no
Welcome,
see.
welcome. No problem. Yes, long time no see, but of course we seeing each other virtually. And welcome to the Real Talk with Shuvo. Really appreciate your time. I know you are tied up with so many different kind of community work. And apart from you being an entrepreneur, I really appreciate your time today. And we are really looking forward to this Real Talk, which will really help the entrepreneurs, I believe. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I go ahead with the interview, I would like to give a short introduction of our guest. Actually, there is no short or long introduction. It is an introduction, and I simply love this introduction because um, uh, so so let me just go ahead with the introduction, which is now Rohan has done his PhD from interior architect and furniture design from France, and he has done his PhD in interior architect and project management of USA. And he's a chartered interior architect and chartered furniture designer and project manager and a senior lecturer. Apart from that, as far as I know, and what Rohan is a big giver, and he has been supporting the community, entrepreneur community, so many years, right? And apart, he's a brilliant singer, by the way. He has his own band called Rohan and the Clan, right? So I remember very first time when I met Rohan at his office, it was the most formal slash informal meeting I ever had. We end up actually singing song together. That's how this gentleman is. He will make you so comfortable around you that he will be and you will be able to be yourself and state your requirement, and he will serve accordingly. Thank you, Professor Rohan, for joining us. So my first question to you, Professor. Um, so the new normal for the entrepreneurs. What is the new normal for the entrepreneurs?
Well, sure, I can tell it in so many ways. But since we are running with a limited time and also the time limitations, let me say in short and sweet, it is a transition from the old methods to the new. All of us have been in very comfortable zones. Now it has come to a situation. The world has made us into a situation where we have to come out from the comfort zones and work towards prosperity, not only for yourself, to your community, to your country, and to the world. So this is the new normal that we need to get into. For one to get into this, first of all, I'll be talking to you about the other things as well. Someone must set standards. On that standard, you need to work. I hope I did the justice by giving this answer.
So when you say standard, that means standards have become higher, or what do you actually mean by that?
Well, standards are things which we always have our parameters. We always set the standards. Now, suppose sure you want to you run a business with 1 million turnover for a month. If you really want to go for 1.5 million in a turbulent time or whatever, you know how to do it. It is up to you. It is setting your mindset. That is where it boils down.
Right. Yeah, you actually brought out a good point, mindset. So at this point, an entrepreneur, what kind of mindset an entrepreneur must have at this point?
Well, any entrepreneur gets into a business, they always have a mindset that I am going to thrive. So that is the forcing, the backbone of that particular entrepreneur. But when you sort of go along, when you come across certain obstacles, they tend to reduce the speed. No, my advice is those are only hurdles. Just jump over them and run to your winning target.
Great. So I mean, it's if you can share some field experience, last 7 months you've been seeing, last 7 months you've been witnessing as the president of Sri Lanka Chamber of Small and Medium Industries. Some of the examples, if you can share it with the audience, that how people, how especially the entrepreneurs has been making changes or looking at the positive side of it. What is the new normal in that sense?
Yeah, look at in a sense of in a generosity in generally the entrepreneur, the mentality of the entrepreneur, sometimes it changes. The moment you talk about the pandemic situation, everybody will get into something like, this is like a snail getting into the shell. So some entrepreneurs, what they did, they never got onto the shell. What they did was they thrived. What they did was they sailed their boat. So there were obstacles, but the people did not stop at that. How many businesses for the past 7 months, how many businesses have become strong? How many businesses have become, they have got into different areas, different segments, right? Say somebody who was making candles have got on to making the other things as well. Why? The opportunities are created. You see, every obstacle is an opportunity. You have to always bear in mind an obstacle is an opportunity. The moment you think that obstacle is an obstacle, I'll tell you, it will be a stumbling stone. You will not be able to go beyond that. So that is how you need to look at a problem. Any problem can come up. Let me talk about, let me elaborate in a different way. Say, per day, according to statistics, there are 8,000 children who die of malnutrition. How many people are dying per day of COVID? For malnutrition or underprivileged people, there are enough and more medicines. The only medicine what we can give them is food to eat. Then they will survive. Now, in the pandemic situation, when we talk of this COVID-19, COVID-19, how many people are looking for any medicinal aids? They are prepared to spend any amount of money. Why? It is affecting the rich people. It is the poor people who are starving and dying. Getting off that, let's say anybody who wants to develop their business, whatever business they are into, they have to pull through. This is the job of an entrepreneur. Let me narrate a small story. I'll give you 3 examples. I had an uncle of mine who was a priest. One day he walked into my office and he was watching the way how I was working. Then he said, Rohan, for you to become an entrepreneur, you got to have 3 qualities. My dear son, you have all those 3 qualities. So I asked him, Uncle, what are the qualities? Let me, the audience is single and English speaking. Let me tell you in single.
Yes,
he said, am
sure.
I permitted to sell?
Please go ahead.
He said, පළවෙනි දේ තමයි හැකර කටක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. You must have a mouth which can open for anything. That is, say as an entrepreneur, all these entrepreneurs who are on board, they will say they don't have time to eat. They don't have time to rest. Right? So whatever you come across, you eat and you go move forward. And not only that, that hakara kata means you should be able to tell what it is open. Mm-hmm. The second thing is buru pitak tiyenno. What do you mean by the buru pita? The burua is a person who will carry any weight. So you should be able to carry any weight, any burden. And the last thing is, ukusu asdekak tiyenno. You must have a pair of eyes like an eagle. So you should see what is happening in the future. Now, when this COVID thing took place, how many people in Sri Lanka, how many entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka, they thought, look, it is not happening. So let me convert it. I can give you some good examples. We have some couple of BNI members who was into airline ticketing, who has got on to string hopper manufacturing. He is manufacturing 20,000 string hoppers a day, and he is having enough and more sales. That is, you got onto a different line. You change from your comfort zone and you got onto something else. There are so many people. How many people you have come across who have changed this? So, Hakara Kata, Buru Pita, and Ukusu Asveka. So, these are the things which God has gifted everybody. So, it is the correct way of using it. I hope I answered your question, Shuvo.
Wow, that's brilliant. And actually, you are the first guest who has used Sinhalese and translated in our show. Thank you so much. And then that your uncle, what he said, these three points, it makes so sense. And in fact, if you simply follow these three positive areas entrepreneurs he has identified, this would definitely give the result what an entrepreneur is looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a conversation with the president of Sri Lanka Chamber of Small and Medium Industries, Professor Rohan de Silva. If you have any question, please go ahead and put it on the chat box, and we will be addressing that question. So, my next question to you, Professor Rohan. So, so when it comes to the Sri Lanka Chamber of Small and Medium Industries, if you can give a bit of background of that, they're twofold. Give a bit of background, how many members, and the profile of it, and that's the first question. And the second question is, what is the role this organization is playing at this point to support the entrepreneurs?
Well, Sri Lanka Chamber of Small and Medium Industries is the apex body of the SME sector in this country, which was formed in 1963, and we have a history of about nearly 47 years. And 57 years, I'm sorry, 57 years of history. And also, we have served the community in many ways, but only thing, we are a very silent organization. Now, if you talk of all these SME sector supportive people, we are in the background and we help the people to the hilt. The SME is, SME sector is the backbone of the economy of this country. We contribute well over 60%. And we employ more than 42% of the Sri Lankan labor. So therefore, SME sector is a sector which cannot be neglected in any situation, because SME sector is the one who is helping the country's economy. So our role here is to support the SME sector by way of so many areas, like training, helping people who are entrepreneurs. Sure, in Sri Lanka, most of the entrepreneurs are not well-educated people. We remember we had a couple of webinars for SME sector. First webinar was conducted in English, and we had a whole heap of inquiries asking us to conduct that in Sinhala. So what we did was we did it in Sinhala and English both to support the community. That's one aspect. And the other thing is, now, say for an example, take an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is, in Sri Lankan context, an entrepreneur is a person who can do something. Now, in my case, I am a professional designer, and where I design, and I have my own workshop where we do manufacture. I'm a chartered interior architect, where I design my designs, and I have my own factory. The only interior architect who has his own factory, and where we manufacture it, and that is what I have been doing. But apart from that, what was my other areas? Finance, management, material control, factory management, all that came into me, the project management part of it. So I had only excelled in these areas. How do I do it? I had to learn on my own how do you do finance, how do you read a balance sheet, how do you approach a bank and ask for any facilities, how do you manage your staff, How do you control your labor? The biggest and the most important profession in the world is man management. So these are all areas where people tend to fail. That is where some entrepreneurs, if they can afford, they hire an accountant, qualified HR person, all that. But as an entrepreneur, 95% cannot afford that luxury. So they have to manage it on their own. When they manage it on their own, they will really feel how you do it. So now this is where the SLC SMI come in, and we give them a proper training. And not only that, even anybody who is asking for a loan, or if they want to go for a loan, we have a system. We have our team. Where we help them to do a project report, right, and studying their project, but for which you have to pay a nominal fee, not to us, not to the chamber. Chamber is a non-government, non-profit making organization. So we give a person, let them handle it. So this is how things has to happen. In our SME sector, we have got well over 3,000 members, and in the office we have 30 exco members, including myself. We have 30 exco members, which change in every 3 years. And we meet once a month, and we look into all the problems what the industries are faced with. When they have a problem, they write to us. What they do is we always look into it. Wherever possible, we help them. Now, having said that, let me tell you one example. Sure, I think this might be very interesting. There was
please.
Entrepreneur who had a problem, who could obtain a loan from the bank.
Right.
So I do not want to mention the bank chairman and the bank name. It's not right.
Yes.
So what we did was, he came to us with this problem. So we referred him to the bank concerned. And we know the chairman very well. We spoke to the chairman. Chairman said, "Don't worry, Rohan, I will look into it." And when he went into it, what we found was he has got a couple of loans, he has not serviced them. Now, this is the biggest problem what most of our entrepreneurs are faced with. They go and obtain a loan and they use that money for something else, and they find it difficult for the repayment system. That is where they fail. When they fail, their name goes into the crib, and they are leave aside the crib, but they have a black mark with that financial institute. So what happens is they won't be given any chance. So for that also, we have always spoken to the president, and president also, His Excellency the President also is in par with us, and he's also helping the sector very much, because he knows this is the backbone. So these are a couple of examples. I can give you enough and more examples. As far as the chamber is concerned, our main motive is to develop the SME sector. That is our main motive. So in order for us to do that, we have a 30-member exco who are very eloquent, and we have our own consultants group, and we do a lot. And let me mention a couple of names. We have our immediate past president is Mr. Mohidin Kad, who is a guiding pillar. And we have a consultant, that is Charminder, and he's super, and he's a man who really drives everything. And we have a very good team. We have able office manager, Gerard Tisavira Singh, who handles everything single-handedly. And we have our Secretary General, Deepthi Vikramasinghe, who is also BNI member. And we have so many other members who are supportive. Nishan Gunawardana, who is in your chapter. And all are together. When it comes to any kind of situation, we are there to help. We are very closely working with all the institutions, like Industries Ministry, NEDA, all the banks, especially the state-owned banks like Bank of Ceylon and People's Bank. We are working with all of them, and our main motive is to support the industrial community, that is the SME community, who can develop themselves. You see, today you need the training. As I told you earlier, it's not enough that you know how to lathe, how to do a superb lathe work, how to make a small piece of furniture superbly. But you have to think beyond. Now that is where we lack. We stop at that. That's why we lack.
So I believe that's how SME, the Chamber of SME sector is actually helping and supporting to take the entrepreneur's journey to the next level. Thank you very much for sharing that practical example as well. So there are some questions from the audience now. Okay, there is Denzel Pereira. Now he's saying that I would like to meet him, so he wants to meet you, Rohan. So Prof, is it okay to share your contact detail
Sure,
on the
you
group?
can do that. Yes, Mr. Prana,
Okay, okay, great.
I'm very much interested in meeting you, but only these days you have to excuse me. I'm under lockdown from
Sure,
Thailand.
sure. Actually, Denzel is. I have interviewed Denzel a few weeks back. So
Yeah.
he's a brand specialist. It would be
Ah,
good. So probably after this, I will connect you with him. And then,
yes.
of course, your able secretary Gerard is also listening, watching the talk right now. And I get an opportunity to meet Gerard when the very first time I visited the office. Lovely
Yes.
gentleman. Now the questions here. Now there are two questions. Okay, Denzel is insisting we would meet on Zoom. That's what he said just now. Okay,
Fantastic.
okay. So we'll make that happen. So
Yes.
now what? Now okay, Kamal. Kamal is asking, what is the strategy and planning Chamber of SME is having in terms of helping young entrepreneurs who has aspect to develop his business with export orientation. How Chamber can help?
Yeah. Let me start with differently in a different way. Well, we
Yes.
have a flagship event in our chamber, which happens every year,
Mhm.
right? Which is recognizing most of the entrepreneurs for their own work, what they have done. And we have the young entrepreneurs program as well. So what you can do is, one is to get recognition. You can join us. You can that is called IEA, Industrial Excellence Award. You can definitely join us. That's one.
Mhm.
Two is
Mhm.
the only advice the support that we can give you is, first of all, you need to know what you are doing. That is the first thing. And are you in a ask 5 questions. I have a formula called WWW within brackets W and H. That's my formula.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
explain. First W stands for what? Now, let me tell Kamal. Kamal, you must ask yourself, what is my project? What is my business? Second question is why? Why am I doing it? Of course, any entrepreneur will say for profits. Okay, fine. Why am I doing it? Where am I doing it? That's the third W. Where am I doing it? So you might say, I will start in my garage first and then I'll develop it to a workshop or a factory or whatever. Where am I doing it? Fourth W, I said within brackets. It can occur, it cannot occur. It may occur, it may not occur. Fourth W is when. That's another big question for all the entrepreneurs, like young people like you. They say, yes, I want to start this business, but you are not started. When are you going to start? It's a very, very important and a vital question. Then last question is how? How am I going to do it? That is where, when you really analyze it properly, that is where you come across your SWOT analysis. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You know what your strengths are. You know what your weaknesses are. Let me, as I told you earlier, I knew I had my strengths in production and design, but I had weaknesses in finance and uh, management, management of labor, right? And what were my opportunities? I had enough orders coming in. My first customer was Mr. Herbert N. Kure. that is Jetwing Chairman. He is no more. I still worship him because he's my first customer. And he gave me the first job at Blue Oceanic Beach Hotel. That's where I started my on my own the business. So these are things that you need to address yourself into, and then get into a concrete solution and never look back. Move forward. There can be hurdles. Go over there. That is my advice.
Great. Thank you very much for the valuable advice. Definitely. Never look back. So, Kamal, we will share the detail of Professor Rohan. I will personally message you on that, and you can get in touch with him, and then see how we can proceed from there. I believe Chamber would definitely support your initiative. Okay. So there is a compliment, Professor Rohan. So Lakshan Gunatilaka, right? So he's saying, I had the privilege of meeting Professor Rohan many times. He's a real guru where you can learn a lot of things in life and business. He has introduced me to BNI. Thank you, Professor Rohan de Silva. Wow. So, Professor, so that is self a real testimonial. Okay, we have another question from Hasini Gunasekara. So she's saying that to become an entrepreneur, do you really need to own a business? What do you think?
Well, you ask any of these entrepreneurs, did they have any business to start with? They had a vision.
Right. Yes.
Right? Shuvo had a vision to start training. Is that right, Shuvo?
Yes. World-class training in Sri Lanka. Yes.
You didn't have a business. Then you converted it into a business because you had a passion. So my advice to Harshini is you need to have a passion in what you are doing, right? Then you convert it to a business. Let's take for an example a musician, a singer who can sing very well, who will come up in the ladder, right? So that is your bread and butter. That will give you a bread and butter. So that is how you have to look at life. Everybody born to this earth is talented. Everybody born to this earth is an entrepreneur in some way. Some people may be working for people, but still they are entrepreneurs. If they really touch their heart and ask them, look, I am working for XYZ organization. I am an entrepreneur there because I am developing that business. Simple as that. But fortunately or unfortunately, you work for someone. Fortunately or unfortunately, you start your business. Simple as that.
Got it. Great. Thank you very much for that. In fact, what happens is I started my journey as an entrepreneur because I wanted to make a difference and make an impact, and I wanted to bring world-class training to Sri Lanka. So obviously, as an entrepreneur, there has to be a commercial to it so that it's sustained, so that my dream can become a reality. So that's how the whole thing came about. So that's the whole story behind it. Thank you for bringing it out. Okay, Deepti Vikramasinghe. So he's saying that great, super presentation, Rohan. That's what he's saying. Okay,
He's our
my
Secretary
next
General. He's
Secretary General. Okay.
And BNI too.
Okay, got it. So, Professor Rohan, how this BNI and chamber, is it it goes hands in hands, or how it is supporting each other? If you can enlighten us by sharing.
Well, you put me on the spot.
Okay, that's why it's a real talk, right? And I have, ladies and gentlemen, there is a surprising question at the end. I will request to Professor at the end. That will be a last question. Wait for it. Don't go away. Okay, please, over to you, Professor.
Well, Chamber is an organization which is supportive. In BNI is also supportive. BNI, the main philosophy which I like is give us gain. So you give, you get. Any religion, if you take any religion, they will say you give, then you are bound to get back. So at the chamber, what we do is we help the people. We go out of our way. And mind you, none of us are paid employees there. We don't work for a salary. We don't get a single cent. We spend our own money. Now, Deep is online. He will definitely vouch for that. We have not taken a single cent, but we have spent our money helping people, going out and doing all that. Right? So that is where we stand. But when it comes to BNI, BNI is a good platform where you can transact business. I would urge all these new and young entrepreneurs, not only them, even the existing entrepreneurs, to join a platform like BNI, whatever chapter you like. You can talk to me, you can talk to Shuvo. That is where you get a lot of referrals. That is where you can really develop your business if you are really on the job. Ask Deepti how he is doing his business. Ask Shuvo how he is doing his business. Ask me how I am doing business. I've been very much benefited from BNI. So this is the way how it works. So now BNI is mostly on getting a business. SME sector, that is the SLC SMI, is the supportive arm. So this is where we support everyone. So I hope I answered the question.
Yes. No, it's all about supporting each other, and then both the organization do that. Definitely, you
Anyway, I'm glad you are
hit the
also
nail.
BNI.
Yes, definitely. So that's how we met and continued the relationship, because it's all about relationship, and growing that relationship. That is more important.
We met
Okay,
before
great.
BNI. We met before BNI.
Yes, yes, yeah. We met before BNI, but we renewed the relationship to the next level when we met in BNI. Definitely,
Right.
yeah. So, my next question to you, before I ask you the last question, uh, okay, what are the advice you would give to the entrepreneurs, especially at this unique time?
Well, it's with the time limitation, I have a lot to talk, but let me tell you in a nutshell. First thing is positive attitude. And follow the 3 principles I gave you.
Yes.
Ukusuwasak, Buru Pitak, Hakara Katak. Right? And also, if you come across any problem, use my formula www within brackets W and H. You can solve your problems. And try to get into innovative products and production methods. Now, that is what the need of the day. Now, the other day I was talking to the DSI chairman, Mr. Nandas Rajapaksa, chairman emeritus. He was telling me, Rohan, අපේ තාත්තලා පටන් ගත්තේ මේ බිස්නස් එක මේ විදිහට. දැන් අපි මේ මට්ටමේ ඉන්නේ. So see the transition that they have thought about. They're a very conventional organization, long-standing organization who are stable. So this is where now they are our own members. They are in our membership. Mr.
Rajapaksa,
The chairman is
yeah.
one of our advisors. He's with us. Anything we do, we always go and talk to him. Mr. Rajapaksa, what do you think? Where you are going to go ahead, Rohan. I know what you can do. And this is how you do it. This is how we stand. And last advice I can give you is, most of our entrepreneurs, when this debacle took place, the bomb blast, 21st April, and even after this lockdown situation, they came and asked us, what is the government going to give us? Well, I am not the government. I don't represent the government. But we work with the government very closely, whoever comes into power. And I must say, the current government, President Rajapaksa, had been very close to us, and through his own minister, Mr. Vimal Veeravansa, who had helped us in a big way, who had stepped in and said, start anything, we are there to support you. So, what more do you want? Please do not wait until the government gives you. Please work towards your own prosperity. Nobody is there to give you, I'll tell you in single, harakata passata kotu tela harakawa dakkana wage karan kawut naha. It is only you. The person who drives is yourself. So please try to work things on your own. If you have any problems, please do come to us. We will promote you. We will take you to places. We will give you the avenues. We will give you the pathways how to walk it. These are my
Great.
advices.
So, Professor, what you're saying is that create your own economy rather than blaming the economy. Create your own economy. Be your own leader, and make it happen. Brilliant.
What are you going to gain? What are you going to gain by blaming the economy?
Yes.
Are you going to gain? No. You
Yeah.
are the loser.
Actually, it's easy to do that, right? You just blame it because you're blaming the economy, because economy will not be able to tell you, it's not me, it's you. So that's why we tend to do that. So if we avoid it and create our own economy, the smaller economy will become and have a bigger impact. Am I correct, Professor? Does it make sense?
You're spot on.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So, Professor Rohan, I wanted to finish this conversation in a different note. So I have a request for you. I know you're a very good singer. So we want to close this a song from you. A single song.
I could have got my gear ready, but anyway, I will sing without music.
Yes.
Anyway,
a single song.
Song.
We would love to listen to you.
Yes, I'll sing a very appropriate song for everybody.
Sure. Okay.
As the president of the Chamber of Small and Medium Industries.
Yes. So you will be the first singing president of Sri Lanka Chamber of Small and Medium Industries. Okay. Over to you, Rohan.
Walk through this world with me, go where I go. That's enough, no? Share all my dreams with me. I need you so.
Wow, beautiful.
In life we serve, some of us find. Over to you.
Great, brilliant. Maybe one verse of Sinhala song, Professor Rohan. Sinhala song. Something from your heart.
Yes. So many songs. Sihinaloak dutua matakai Sihinaloin awa matakai.
Nice. Continue. Just finish it. I know you want to.
No. There's no time.
Great, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. The singing president of Sri Lanka Chamber of Small and Medium Industries, Professor Rohan de Silva. Thank you so much, Professor, for attending the session. Loved your contribution. Loved the contribution you have done for our audience, which is priceless. And now we know that there is a support system, and I love the knowledge that you shared, that create your own economy. Don't blame the economy. So with that very powerful message, no matter wherever we are in the world, definitely we'll be able to make things happen. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank you from on behalf of all the audiences for being here and sharing your knowledge, imparting your knowledge, and sharing your experience, right? And you're being such a big giver. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. And I especially loved the singing part. Thank you so much for being here, Professor Rohan de Silva. And ladies and gentlemen, please look out for the real talk with Shuvo for next week. We are having a corporate leader next week for our next program.
And before I go offline, Shuvo, I would like to thank you for the opportunity, the great opportunity you have given the Chamber of Small and Medium Industries. I am only a member there. as I serve as a chairman, as a president. So thank you very much for that opportunity. And for the audience, for their knowledge, let me tell you something little about me. I'm a Rotarian. I'm a Toastmaster. I'm a social worker. I'm a chorister. And I have my own organization. I'm a chartered interior architect. I do a lot of custom built interiors where we design and build. So the need is there. We are there for you. Shuvo, thank you very much.
Great.
And very much the nice audience who were listening to me very attentively. And may God bless you.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So I just shared your Facebook handle, Design Studio of Rohan de Silva. I just shared it on the Facebook. Please go and visit and like the page as well. And so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Professor Rohan de Silva. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.